The Nigerian Labour Congress and its civil society allies say the hike in fuel price represents the height of insensitivity and impunity and shall be resisted. In a statement released, the NLC said the latest increase is the most audacious and cruel in the history of product price increase. Also speaking on our flagship program, Deji 360, NLC General Secretary Peter Ozo Esson said the Labour Congress was against the current fuel price.
Under what conditions are Nigerians currently living? After the unacceptable increase in the tariff of electricity, do you know how many families cannot survive? People who are supposed to be working, whose total income cannot keep them for a week? Are those under conditions under which you bring more hardship? We have proposed to government before, and it is documented, how to manage the downstream sector. It is nothing unique to Nigeria. We are not a producing country, and there are ways of doing this. And so there is nothing new that this government is going to say it should manage its affairs properly. And so the argument about the economic times, it has a double side to it. If you are already in a situation in which average workers, are already facing penury, is that the time you will unleash new hardship? Government needs to be creative. Government is supposed to come and govern, and lamentations cannot continue to be what we expect of a government.
Meanwhile, Johnson Chuku, who is the managing director of Lagos-based Cowrie Asset Management and Investment Bank, has said the country must go through certain phases of difficulties to restructure the Nigerian economy. He says the removal of subsidy was inevitable also.
We must recognize the fact that you cannot make an omelette without breaking an egg. So it is critical that we go through some phases of difficulties in order to restructure the economy. There's no form of restructuring that will be easy for any country to implement without some pains. I mentioned to some people earlier that if you look at the restructuring, the economic boom that Britain has enjoyed for the past 30 years or thereabout, it was because of the restructuring that Margaret Thatcher took and that liberated the British economy from the shackles of labor hold. For Nigeria's case, we need to move away from a rent-seeking, a rent-oriented economy to a productive economy. The issue of subsidy is issue of rent. And because ultimately, the final consumers who are supposed to benefit from this subsidy don't ever get to benefit. If you cast your mind back before the subsidy removal, it's only in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt that people get fuel at a regulated price of 86, 87, 86.50. Outside, in almost all the up-country locations, fuel was going far above the regulated price. So ultimately, somebody was trapping that differential in terms of excessive profit. And it wasn't Nigerians. It was basically the middlemen. So in as much as it's going to be painful, particularly Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt, I almost assure you that those in places like Abia, Enugu, Kano, Zamfara, they will not feel much of this subsidy removal because they've been buying petrol at far above 145 naira per litre.
Still on the removal of fuel subsidy, reactions have continued to pour in over the decision of the Nigerian government to remove fuel subsidy and increase fuel price. In Abuja, the nation's capital, many Nigerians say they are yet to come to terms with the fuel price.
It was a sudden news to every one of us that the federal government they've inflated the price from 86 naira 50 kobo to 145 naira per litre. It's a shocking news.
I support the subsidy for it to be brought back, for Nigerians to be able to have this fuel, for it to be available. Because I can't just imagine using how many hours to queue, all in the name of fuel. And you know, we still have to go to our offices and all that, meaning we have to give one for the other. So Nigerians cannot be using the whole day to be queuing up for fuel.